but I haven't finished reading the chapter yet because I'm going through very line by line here. And he warns them to be cautious so they're not easily deceived. So there were a lot of people back then after Jesus was crucified. A lot of people came after him claiming to be Messiah. And a lot of people were deceived by that. And it's still happening where people, and it's less common now, but it does still happen. That's where some of the cults come in that you see nowadays. It does still happen, kind of, but not like it was happening back then, because according to prophecies back then, he was expected to arrive at that time. But the sad thing was, he was right in front of them and they didn't see it. So they kept being deceived by other people that were coming at that time after he was crucified. They were being deceived, and one of the reasons they were being deceived was because, according to prophecy, that was exactly when he was supposed to come. Jesus did come, they just didn't see it. And these are my own thoughts on it. It's like all throughout Matthew, Jesus was denouncing their misunderstanding of the scripture and their misunderstandings about Messiah. And that just shows that we really, really need to study scripture for ourselves so that we know, so that we are not easily deceived. And that's even today, we need to study so that we know. And I talked about this last time. I read some of these stats last time from Jeremiah J. Johnston's book on Unanswered, is that nearly half of the Christians in America claim that they're too busy to read the Bible. This was based on a survey. This survey for these stats were from 2015. 1 in 7 adults said that they read the Bible every day. 33% of millennials admit never reading the Bible, and 47% of Canadian youth have never set foot in a church. And Jeremiah Johnston in his book said that he feared that we're one generation away from a major heretical schism in the church because no one's reading their Bible. No one's studying their Bible for themselves, at least not truly. We can read it cursorily without in-depth study, and we won't understand because we're just setting our preconceived notions on top of it without fully understanding what's being said. And I looked up the current state of the Bible in the U.S. Recently for this, and their reports are disappointing, but there are signs of hope. 2/3 of non-Bible users show curiosity about Jesus and the Bible, and 1/3 of them are extremely curious, so that's hopeful. However, as you can see, the scripture engagement trends are for people that don't read the Bible at all. So this is year by year from 2018 to 2022. The number of people not reading the Bible has increased significantly, and those that are engaged dropped. And so the trend towards Bible exploration has ended, and the movable middle is this movable middle, which could go either way, has fallen by 2 and 5, and then the engaged has shrunk by 1 and 5. So they're saying that the trend towards Bible exploration and study of the Bible has ended. It's done. But know that God is not surprised by this data. God already knows what he's doing, what he's going to do with it. And one of the things that we're doing here at VR Church, VR MMO Church, is we're trying to get people engaged in the Bible again. The most common, so they surveyed people and asked them why they weren't reading the Bible, and the most common complaint across all the generations was that there's just not enough time. And the top Gen Z reason was they just don't know where to start. And you can see this trend here from 2011 to 2022. Adult Bible users over time. Look at that drop from 2021 to 2022. It went from 50% to 39%. Nearly 26 million Americans have stopped or reduced Bible engagement in the past year. So we need to stop doing ministry as usual. It's not fit for this turn. John F Plake, who is the one who headed up this research and this report out, he's saying that it's time for innovation, energy, and deep compassion. We need to stop our current ministry as usual and get innovative in how we go out and reach people. Younger generations are leading the way with digital options, and these formats potentially make it easier to engage more frequently. And one of the research findings that they said, the data shows us that many Americans are struggling to connect the teaching of the Bible to the ways that they live out their faith in community. And they suggest that we create or curate mood-based resources, and that we meet non-Bible users at their points of need and get beyond our proofs, start offering pertinent stories and chapters. We need to show people how to start reading scripture. And that's one of the things that I'm working on here. I mean, this is just one of many ways to read scripture. This is probably, the way I do it is probably a bit intimidating to people. I am a very academic person. I will, if I'm interested about something, if I'm interested in something, I'm going to dig in and understand that thing to the best of my ability, and then I'll be happy and can move on and study something else. Until I understand it to my satisfaction, I will keep digging. And not everyone's that way. So how can we help other people who have a different kind of mindset, a different way of learning than me? How can we get them? How can we show them how to start engaging and learning? And we need to get creative and innovative in our ways of sharing the good news. Ministry as usual isn't going to work anymore. Not for the new generations. And it's apparently not even working for the current adults, as we can see by these findings. That amazing drop from 2021 to 2022. Time to start getting innovative.